today's video, the 5 most amazing websites I've seen this month, and we're going to talk about their design, user experience, mobile responsiveness, all of that, so that you can take some of these ideas and implement them in your own web design. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ron Sega, and Flux, this channel, is the best place for you to learn how to become the best freelance web designer. So make sure you're subscribed and hitting that bell button. We got a new free web design course coming up. We're releasing 3 videos per week, so make sure you're staying tuned with us. Let's jump right into the first website. So this website is called Swap the World. Let me scroll through it while I explain what is this website and why I like it. Basically, this is a website that kind of brings into attention the fact that mostly the donation for blood for cancer patients are from white people, and we need blood from other people as well, so we need more diversity, and they're trying to bring an awareness to that and trying to get you to donate some blood. Now, why I love this website, and I think they're doing a fantastic job here. I think this is a topic that's hard for people. People don't really want to talk about cancer and all of that stuff, and they've taken an approach, kind of make it into a little bit of a fashion brand here. Check out the colors. This is really not a cliche for a website that talks about cancer patients. They did a really nice color selection. They've combined these abstract animation and this really highly web-directed, like art-directed photography, all using the same colors. So a few things about this. First of all, I think you can really see that's nice here that a lot of times people think that you need to either choose illustrations or choose photography, and you can here combine them and it looks really nice together. It works really, really well. Also in terms of the layout. So this layout here is really not really cliche. It's grid based, and so it's easy to read, but there's something in it here. Obviously, it would be kind of the cliche to break it into 3 columns, step 1, step 2, step 3, but instead they've built it this way with these illustration, breaking up the grid a little bit, and also when you're scrolling, there's a little bit of a parallax going on here. In this section, they're talking about colors, and so they're using colors to demonstrate their point about talking about colors. And then here again, using this really nice photo in a more impactful way when it's kind of like big on the whole screen. And here they're basically giving you, using the same type of grid as before, but giving you stories about people who you can help if you're donating. So I think this is really, really interesting combination of the illustration, of using these abstract circles to demonstrate, that white people and non-white people are codependent and working together. I think this is a really interesting way to storytell. And just in general, I think website looks really, really great. We'll see how it reacts on mobile when we get to the mobile part of it. Let's continue to the second website. So the second website is called Muay, and basically this is kind of a website for, I don't know if to call it e-commerce, but they're selling these kind of like high fancy furniture and art and all of that kind of stuff. So when you're just getting into it, there's kind of enter the experience, and when you click that, you kind of move into with a sound, something that I don't really like, but they're breaking down these things into the objects, into creating kind of a scene for you, which is really nice to interact with, and then you can actually go inside and check out the object that they're talking about. Again, really, really great use of the experience, how they're telling you that, and also good typography, good layout that you can see here. Really nice. The menu here is kind of a non-cliche. It looks like a pop-up with the search here, also a voice search, something that is not very common when you see kind of search or menus that goes up. So in general, I think this is a really cool approach for an e-commerce website that is different, is selling different things, and so it wants to tell the story about them in different ways. So here they're talking about a lamp if you go into the collection, and you can move and see how it looks inside. And so really, really kind of a nice interactive way to show what they're talking about instead of just looking like another e-commerce website. They really created an experience that actually also works pretty well on mobile. We'll see that in a second. The third website is this one, RenoPele, kind of a luxury brand for clothes. And I like this because if you scroll down here, it really, really looks and feels luxury. And you can see how you can create luxury just by using the right typefaces, so the right fonts, including a lot of space. So that's really what creates luxury, I think, here. Using a lot of white space, using good imagery, this subtle, parallax effects here. So that's really, really nice. You scroll in here and then it turns into kind of a grid. So this is an unexpected, after you've scrolled in here and you've kind of get a feel for how this scrolling, all of a sudden they're kind of like creating this zoom out effect to show their Instagram feed. So I think that's really, really nice way of showing how you can brand yourself. There are so many e-commerce websites today and you have to compare with Amazon and ASOS. So you want to be different. You want to create some luxury, and you can do this here again by a great use of typography, the mixing of the fonts, and creating the space and the layout to give this luxurious feel to it. The next website is Calexo, and I know that you guys are going to hate me on this because this website really, when you scroll, it uses so much of your CPU, but basically this is kind of a drink that has THC in it, so the active weed marijuana thing in it. So I'm not sure if you're getting high by drinking this, but they wanted to take you on this kind of a hippie, colorful journey. And note how they're doing this, so sometimes it's these colorful shapes combining with imagery of the ingredients and just kind of like a lifestyle imagery here. I think this is rather cool, even though, this website uses a lot of your CPU, but it still gives you kind of a cool experience. Something that I really liked on this website is how they created the menu into this kind of a drop. So this menu, right, the hamburger menu is kind of a cliche, but the way that they've made a drop out of it, pluck, that feels like in line because this is a drink. I feel this is really, really cool way, this website. I think there's a lot of things that you can take away from it, basically in their art direction, typography, and layout. Maybe this kind of scroll interaction, which here it is. So right now it's kind of like stuck. My browser's stuck. That sucks, right? You need to think about this when you're building your website. You need to have the balance between, how awesome and impressive it is, but then again, it needs to be functional. It needs to be running around and not crashing your browser. My God, I can't believe it happened during the demonstration. Let's move into the next and last website. This one is called the A to Z of AI, which is artificial intelligence. And basically, this is a website. It's kind of a content hub for a lot of terms that are about, artificial intelligence. And I think they did this really, really smoothly, kind of like encyclopedia look to it with the ABC. But then when you hover over it, the illustrations a little bit change. They change the color, so the D instead of blue becomes green. And so you know that they've used probably kind of like an SVG animation to create this, which is really subtle. When you click it, it kind of has a really smooth page transition to it, and then you're kind of like reading the typography. So note it. So here, every article has a color to it, but when you're getting into reading the actual article, they're switching back into a light background because they know that it's probably much easier to read on this light background versus on this colorful. So it's really good and nice user experience, but also feels great, when you're scrolling into it. So this is a really, really nice website that's oriented for helping you to read content, and I think they did this really, really nicely. So these were the 5 websites. Let's jump into the mobile here and let's see how they look when we're opening them up on mobile. So the first one here it's Swab the World. You can see here something nice. These are actually different colors and a different image here, which is nice. So they basically created 2 different versions. I'm not sure if it's random or if it's just, mobile versus desktop, but they changed the color scheme here on mobile and it looks great as well. Also very fashiony and so this website, I feel like it's working really well on on mobile as well. You can get access to most of the information. Loads pretty sweetly here on my iPhone. So I think this website, I would rate it as adjusted for mobile responsiveness really well. Let's check the second one, the Muay. So this one, let's let it load for a second. All right. So this one, let's see what happens if we enter this kind of movie experience. Well, it's kind of lagging a little bit, but the animation works. And yeah, you can actually still see the whole scene here, and you can still click on things. So overall, it works. I would say it works. You can open up this sub menu here for the item that you have just picked up. Overall, this is not a bad mobile responsive, kind of like an e-commerce website. So I would rate it not bad at all. Let's move into the next one. Let's see the RenoPele here. Yeah, this is quite obvious. Still looks super luxurious. They did remove a lot of the things here. So here we had images on the sides, for example, and they obviously minimized this a lot for mobile. They also removed these kind of the scroll interaction. Remember the zooming interactions? So they've removed and minimized the experience on mobile, which is, sometimes you need to do this because not everything that you do, if you try to force every interaction on mobile, sometimes that does not work really well. Let's see the Calexo here on mobile. So this is weird. This is what you see before you scroll. I wouldn't say this is a great experience because you have where the hell did I came into? I don't even know what this website is. I just see scroll down, and then you scroll down. It takes a while to get into where you actually understand where you at. So this is kind of again, this website, there's stuff I like it here, but I think it's amazingly well designed, but I think the experience-wise, development and how it handles the scroll interaction, I think it's not perfect. Could have been done better. The last one, the A to Z of AI, I think this is pretty straightforward. They've put here the kind of the category so you can scroll them, but most of it, yeah, transition still works well on mobile, and all the rest looks pretty similar. So yeah, pretty good experience. Let me know what you thought about these websites. If there's anything, I know a lot of the comments are, hey, were these built on Webflow? No, these websites that I showed right now were not built on Webflow, but I do think that we can pretty much achieve most of these effects and transitions and obviously layouts and designs on Webflow. So if there's anything that you were wondering here, hey, how could I achieve this thing on Webflow? Let us know in the comment and we'll create a special video around that. As I said in the beginning, we are pumping out new awesome videos for the free web design course. So make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video.